The hidden truth about fruits and senior leg health. Have you ever wondered why, despite maintaining a good diet, staying active, and following all the right practices, your legs seem to be losing strength? Why do stairs appear more challenging? Why does standing up from a chair take more effort than before? Is this simply the natural aging process, or could there be an underlying factor silently affecting you? The answer might surprise you. Sometimes it's not about what you're failing to do. It might be something you're already doing without recognizing its harmful effects. Most seniors make a silent mistake daily, doing so with complete confidence, believing they're making healthy choices because they've been taught their entire lives that fruits are beneficial, natural, and wholesome. Indeed, most fruits are. However, here's the truth that rarely gets discussed. Not all fruits are appropriate for older adults. In fact, certain fruits, ones we consume without hesitation every week, can gradually diminish leg strength, trigger knee discomfort, worsen joint inflammation, and make mobility more difficult. Fruits marketed as healthy may actually be detrimental to your movement, stability, and leg power. As we grow older, our bodies undergo changes, our blood flow diminishes, our metabolism decreases, and foods that once helped us can now slowly begin to cause harm, especially certain fruits. They might look harmless, they might taste delicious, but they contain high levels of acids, sugars, and compounds that impact blood glucose levels, trigger joint inflammation, and compromise your leg strength. What's particularly concerning is that the damage occurs slowly, subtly, and remains unnoticed until suddenly you feel sharp pain in your calves, ongoing thigh discomfort, or strange tightness in your knees after just a brief walk. Today, I'm going to reveal the 7 most dangerous fruits that any senior over 60 should avoid, especially if you want to protect your legs from long-term damage, pain, and weakness. None of these fruits are as innocent as they appear. Once you learn the facts, you'll never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. So stay with me until the end, if you care about your strength and want to keep your legs stable, powerful, and pain-free. Your body may be waiting for this important information, but hold on before we dive in. If you're serious about your health, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this is where we share the truths that others won't discuss. And I want to know if you're listening. If you're currently watching, if this content speaks to you, comment 1 below. If not, comment 0. Your feedback matters more than you know. Let's start with the first fruit on our list. It's praised for its anti-inflammatory properties. However, it might be doing the opposite for seniors. Let's talk about pineapple. Pineapple, the first fruit and silent inflammation builder. Pineapple is tropical, succulent, and refreshing. It contains an enzyme called bromelain, which has been celebrated for years as a natural inflammation fighter. But here's the catch. While many believe pineapple reduces inflammation, it could be the silent culprit for older adults. Pineapple contains powerful acids and natural sugars, and those sugars aren't as innocent as they seem, especially if you're over 60. Let me explain. As we age, our blood vessels become more fragile and sensitive. They don't handle sugar surges the same way anymore. Despite its benefits, pineapple delivers a potent dose of natural sugar to the bloodstream. What happens? It causes rapid blood sugar elevation. That spike can damage the tiny blood vessels that nourish your legs, feet, and muscles. Over time, as circulation worsens, less oxygen reaches your legs, and you know what that leads to: pain, fatigue, and swelling. You get that dull, dragging ache in your legs after a brief walk, that stiffness in your knees when standing. Your ankles suddenly ache, even after sitting all day. But there's more. Pineapple is acidic as well as sweet. That acidity can irritate joints, especially if you already have inflammation or arthritis. It adds fuel to the existing fire in your knees, hips, and ankles. Some people even notice their legs feel heavy after eating pineapple, as if strength is slowly draining away. Here's something else you should know. If you're taking medications, particularly blood thinners, the famous bromelain enzyme can interact with certain drugs, making them either too strong or too weak. But the most dangerous part of all is this: pineapple doesn't have any major obvious side effects. There are no clear warning signs or immediate pain. Instead, it works gradually until you eventually realize you can't move like you used to. The saddest part is that most seniors don't realize that the fruit they eat for health benefits might be contributing to the yearly weakness they feel in their legs. So what can you do? You don't have to hate pineapple, but you need to be aware and speak up, especially if you've been dealing with chronic leg pain or unexplained swelling. The damage is subtle but real. Now, if pineapple, the fruit with anti-inflammatory properties, can be this harmful for aging legs, what about the next one? It's soft, it's sweet, and it's famous for boosting your muscle strength and potassium levels. But it might be misleading. Let's talk about bananas. Bananas, the second fruit, the muscle imposter. Bananas are soft, sweet, and rich in potassium. They're supposed to provide energy, prevent cramps, and help muscles. But the situation is different for seniors. Bananas are loaded with natural sugar and rapidly digesting carbohydrates. This means that right after eating, your blood sugar levels spike, sugar levels rise, and your body starts resisting insulin. When that happens repeatedly, circulation becomes weaker, inflammation increases, and your legs suffer as well. You might experience a dull ache when walking or climbing stairs, heaviness in your legs after meals, and stiffness in your calves. The story doesn't end there. Bananas also cause you to retain more water, especially if you have heart issues. This leads to swollen feet, swollen ankles, and stiff joints. The effect is silent. You eat them thinking they'll help your muscles. Instead, they might be slowly sapping your strength. Here comes the worst part. It won't affect you immediately, but over time, consuming bananas could make movement more difficult and cause more pain. Look at the fruits on your plate. If you often experience heavy aching or swollen legs, bananas might not be as friendly as they initially seem. What if something even smaller can do this? We know bananas for muscle support, small, sweet, and innocent looking, but they could be making your joints burn. Let's talk about grapes. The third fruit. Grapes, small fruit, big inflammatory impact. Grapes look innocent, small, juicy, and easy to snack on. They also have an excellent reputation, heart-healthy, and full of antioxidants. But most people don't know this. When elderly people eat grapes, they may experience mild leg pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Why? Because grapes contain fructose, a substance that can be harmful in large amounts. It's a sugar that goes directly to the liver, and when your liver can't process it completely, it becomes fat and uric acid. That's when the real damage starts, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees. Uric acid builds up in the joints, causing an intermittent burning and swelling pain, a nagging discomfort that makes even light walking difficult. Have you ever had that sharp pain in your big toe at night? That sudden stiffness in your calves? It could be something as simple as a handful of grapes raising your uric acid levels. And it doesn't stop there. Fructose also fuels chronic inflammation in your body. This means slower movement, more pressure, and stiffness. Grapes are also too easy to overeat. They're small enough to pop in your mouth. Before you know it though, you've eaten 2 or 3 cups, and the sugar quickly adds up. So while grapes might seem like a healthy snack, they may subtly weaken, reduce flexibility, and make your legs less comfortable as you age. Now you know what can be hidden behind that sweetness. If you've been eating grapes regularly, and experiencing increasing stiffness and swelling though, there are other sweet fruits that can be harmful besides grapes. Another is luscious, colorful, and known for its hydrating properties. Don't be fooled though. Inside, it functions like sugar, even though it tastes like water. Let's talk about watermelon. The fourth fruit, watermelon, the false hydrator. Watermelon is light, refreshing, and a symbol of summer and hydration. Could this watery fruit be quietly damaging your legs? Isn't that strange? Since everyone agrees watermelon is a good way to stay hydrated. It feels safe, has few calories, and is mostly water. But here's the secret. Watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index. This means it rapidly raises blood sugar levels, just like candy. And those frequent sugar spikes cause significant harm to seniors, particularly to their legs. Let's break it down. When your blood sugar levels rise quickly, your body releases insulin, but insulin is poorly controlled in aging bodies. This results in inflammation, especially in areas with poor circulation. Where does it show up? Your calves, your ankles, your knees. You might experience leg fatigue right after eating, a dull pain when taking quick walks, that strange persistent swelling around your ankles. Climbing stairs starts to feel like climbing a mountain. Watermelon has a light feel, but it acts like a sweet trap, gently wearing down your legs. Most people eat a lot of it because it's juicy and refreshing. One slice becomes 2, then 3. More sugar, more stress, more inflammation. It's deceptive. You think you're drinking water, but your blood sugar is spiking instead. Your circulation is struggling and your legs are paying the price. Does watermelon really help seniors stay hydrated, or does each bite subtly increase the discomfort of movement? It might be time to reconsider if the watermelon on your plate is unpredictable and your legs have been feeling more tired lately. Let's move on to a fruit associated with vitamin C and health drinks, immunity-boosting beverages and breakfast, all included. For seniors, however, it may mean an acidic assault on their joints. Let's talk about oranges. Oranges, the fifth fruit, the acid attack on joints. They're bright, they have a fresh scent, and they're everywhere. Juices, health supplements and breakfast plates. They're supposed to boost immunity with vitamin C. But oranges might be hiding an unpleasant truth for seniors, especially those over 60. Behind that citrus brightness is acid, which your joints don't like. Oranges are rich in citrus. While that might seem normal, it can cause quiet joint irritation, especially if your body is already fighting inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis. When you wake up, you might experience gradual stiffness in your knees, persistent hip pain, that uncomfortable feeling in your legs after sitting for long periods, reduced mobility, and increased swelling. You might think it's just aging, but that healthy habit of drinking orange juice every morning could be contributing. What actually happens is the very pain you're trying to prevent. The citric acid in oranges affects more than the stomach. It enters your bloodstream and can aggravate your joints' delicate tissues. Plus, when combined with the fruit's natural sugar, it causes blood sugar fluctuations. And what's the result? Inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation that spreads to your knees, ankles, and calves, making every step feel a bit heavier and more painful. You see, oranges might not harm a younger person, but the effect builds subtly in an elderly person with aging joints and slower circulation. The hardest part is that you're doing it believing you're helping yourself, since oranges have long been linked with wellness. But now you know they might not be good for your health. What's next? The following fruit has a clean appearance, green, crisp, and lower in sugar. People think it's the safe choice, but it hides something that can cause nighttime cramping, tight knees, and aching hips. Let's talk about green apples. Green apples, the sixth fruit, hidden cause of leg pain. They look crisp, clean, and natural. Plus, most people, especially seniors, think they're the healthier choice because they taste less sweet. It seems like a healthy, low-sugar snack, but most people don't know this. Green apples can subtly cause fatigue, stiffness, and leg pain. The two threats are malic acid and hidden natural sugar. First, let's talk about malic acid. This acid gives green apples their tart flavor, and it can be troublesome for aging digestion. While it's fine for young people, our gut lining becomes more sensitive with age. And malic acid can irritate tissues, including joints, once it enters the body. Some elderly people experience severe hip or thigh pain after eating apples. Others feel a mild burning in their feet or tightness in their knees. It takes time to happen, but as time goes on, the acid builds up and the pain becomes more frequent. Now let's talk about the sugar. Green apples still contain natural sugars, even if they don't taste as sweet as red apples, and that sugar causes blood sugar fluctuations in elderly people with slower metabolisms. Your calves might be tired, your legs might cramp at night, you might experience morning stiffness or feel weak when going upstairs. The most challenging part is that green apples are often eaten raw as a snack or even right before bed. As a result, the body is constantly affected by them. They look very healthy and pure, but green apples might be subtly making it harder to walk, stiffening joints, and making nights more restless for aging bodies. What about a tropical, rich, and extremely sweet fruit that can have this effect? If a fruit this basic can, then one most loved by many. Let's talk about the real sugar bomb, the mango. The seventh fruit, mango. A sugar explosion for your joints. Mango is juicy, soft, and candy-like. Almost everyone loves this fruit, especially during summer months. But here's the truth. Mango might be the most harmful fruit for elderly people with joint weakness and leg pain. Why? Because it's loaded with natural sugar. I don't mean a little either. I'm talking about a major sugar punch that will make your blood sugar rise sharply and quickly. Now, if you're active and under 30, your body can usually handle that rise. But after age 60, your metabolism changes. That sugar rush causes an insulin spike and subsequent crash, and each time this happens, your body creates inflammation deep within your joints, especially in the soft tissues around your ankles, hips, and knees. If you have nerve issues, you might experience a burning sensation in your toes, a tingling that won't go away, evening swelling around your feet, or a creeping heaviness in your legs. Because mango tastes light, feels fresh, and doesn't seem like a big meal, it's easy to eat in larger portions. But this makes it worse. Here's the trick though. The feeling of lightness doesn't matter to the body. It reacts to the sugar.
and over time that sugar can cause joint pain, slow walking, and unsteady legs. Many elderly people eat mangoes thinking they're a natural treat. It is natural too, but natural doesn't always mean safe for weaker circulation and aging joints. You've now seen the complete picture. Despite being praised for their health benefits, mangoes have a dark side for people over 60. But here's the good news. Some fruits have the opposite effect. They support strong, sturdy legs, reduce joint pain, and fight inflammation. Let's talk about those healing alternatives, and what seniors should eat instead. What you can eat instead. Now that you know which fruits to avoid, let's move on to what you can eat. Eating the right fruits does more than just satisfy your hunger. They heal your body. First, let's talk about berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, etc. These small fruits are powerful anti-inflammatory agents. They're low in sugar, high in antioxidants, and gentle on your blood sugar. Most importantly, they improve circulation, especially in the legs. They fight stiffness, reduce swelling, and support easier movement. Next are cherries, but in moderation. Cherries can actually help lower uric acid, which reduces the chance of gout and joint pain flare-ups. They soothe aching joints and that burning feeling in your knees or toes. A handful of cherries, not a bowlful, can provide significant relief. Then comes avocado. It is indeed a fruit, and it's also among the best for healthy joints. Why? Because it's rich in healthy fats that reduce inflammation inside your body and cushion your joints. Take action for your health today. If this information has opened your eyes to the hidden truth about these common fruits and how they might be affecting your leg strength and mobility, first, hit that like button if this video helped you understand why your legs might be feeling weaker despite your best efforts. Your like tells me that this content is making a real difference in people's lives. Second, subscribe to our channel because this is just the beginning. We're constantly uncovering health truths that others won't share. The real reasons behind your aches, pains, and declining energy that have nothing to do with just getting older. When you subscribe, you'll never miss these life-changing revelations. Third, ring that notification bell so you're instantly alerted when we release new content. Your health can't wait, and neither should you. Every video could contain the missing piece of information that transforms how you feel and move. Remember, knowledge is power, but only when you act on it. Your legs, your joints, and your future mobility are counting on the decisions you make today. Don't let another day pass wondering why you're getting weaker when the solution might be as simple as changing what's in your fruit bowl. Hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Your body will thank you for it.